morning. Starting my day watching my little April horoscope from Nicholas Ashbaugh, the most wholesome tarot reader in all the land, I feel. Anyway, I don't know why, but vlogging kind of gets me in the right headspace, activates some kind of in my brain and gets me into a work mindset. Doing a job this morning. It's not a very hard job, it's just some stories I have to shoot, but I've just been like not wanting to do it all weekend, and now it's Monday morning. But I am excited to do it. It's just more so the dopamine levels are not quite there. Talking to you guys always seems to just flip that switch in my brain. Anyway, in the spirit of good habits, I'm forcing myself to have breakfast before I start work, because something that I've always done in my life, which is a terrible trait, is sometimes when I'm panicked about work, I put work before food, like I'm taking care of myself, or I'll have like a coffee on an empty stomach. Thankfully that's all done away with. I really have stopped having coffee first thing in the morning. It sounds really hard to do, trust me, I was that girl, but it's not. You just have to put something in your stomach first, and then it's like a reward. This is my little high protein hormone journey breakfast, I suppose you could call it, but also like not fitness breakfast, but just you know high protein is good for us women, and I'm definitely someone that's learning how to incorporate more high protein into my diet without feeling like a bodybuilder. 45 grams of protein at least. I would say like 45. That's like the Americanized version of myself, but it's 45. Do you know 45? I have an omelette that I made myself yesterday. I really struggle with motivation to make breakfast in the mornings, like something actually healthy, but I made this omelette yesterday and I made a second one while I was at it, so really I'm just heating it up. But it's 2 eggs, 2 slices of turkey bacon and 2 slices of Swiss cheese with a handful of spinach and some like grilled red onions that went in first. But that's like at least 34 grams of protein, I think. And then to sneak some in, which is what I've been doing, I've just been trying to sneak protein into my day, is I'm going to be having like half a cup of bone broth, or like half one of these little cartons. This is probably the most reasonably priced, nice tasting bone broth I found that's organic still. The miso chicken bone broth is my favorite, but this is all they had in stock. That's an extra 10 grams, so together that's quite a high protein meal. I had such expectations, but I really did not like it. I thought it was going to be delicious. I was hoping my new mug would get here in time for this morning's bone broth, but it doesn't seem to be downstairs. It says it was delivered, but alas, we will use the Libra mug. Asked about where it's from because I use it a lot and it just ends up being in my content, but it's from Urban Outfitters last year. Me with my measly like half a cup of bone broth. For a session, bone broth's expensive. I've been trying to stretch out the cartons. Very beautiful, very glamorous breakfast spread, but that's breakfast. Got you balancing very precariously on my mug right now. And I'm feeling very grateful this morning. Made me feel warm and fuzzy inside, I'm not gonna lie. But it's kind of changed my perspective on the day. I went from kind of being like, ugh, Monday, to now being like, okay, Monday, good to be here. So I've just finished work and I opened this little treat that I got myself from Sense. Sense has been definitely my favorite place to shop. Obviously they're known for carrying like cool, unique brands and just like a mix of price points. The thing is with Sense is I always think anything I get from there isn't going to look good on me, but almost everything I've bought has worked. Let me tell you, I've just gotten the most perfect micro mini. Although I like mini skirts, a micro mini is definitely a territory I haven't ventured in before. Look at this bad boy. Isn't she just the cutest damn thing? It's not the cutest skirt you've ever seen in your life. Get real like fashion design girly on you right now, but the construction of it is so beautiful. Summer is calling. So that is the brand, by the way. I know it's not going to be for everyone. I've taken a piece that I would find usually very hard shop for, like a tiny mini like this. They've cut it really well. But yeah, the reason why I just think this is so genius is they built in underwear into it. It manages to lie so perfectly. It's not swim, but it does have that kind of swimwear feel to it. So that inner underwear piece means that the skirt doesn't ride up. So everything I don't like wearing about a mini skirt. Usually skirts in general is just like they always kind of move up the hips and you feel kind of uncomfortable, you feel kind of on show, but I feel like it has a little bit of coverage built in. It like hugs the hips in the right place and kind of just feels like very smooth. I actually got this for a pretty decent price on sale. That was my namaste. That was my little passionate fashion rant. I love talking about clothes. Like if you followed me for years, I could just spend a whole video talking about cut, fabric, silhouette. It's just like, it's still a passion of mine, you know. I am done work. I just kind of hopped on to vlog as a bit of a break before having to kind of stare on my phone and edit it. And I wanted to open my begins with an A, ends with an N delivery. I really don't want to support them, but I have waited as long as possible and kind of gathered a few items. Thought, why not just continue and just chat about things that I got in the mail. I've also been loving this Sunday Best by Aritzia shirt. They sent me out this and I really like it. I find that like crop cuts are just like better for my proportions. I'm liking this little boyfriend shirt number. Very excited, finally got my hands on this. It's been in my cart for about a month since I've been in Vancouver. As you know from my last video, I explained that while I was in Vancouver I did Dolores Cannon's quantum healing hypnosis course, because I know some of you volunteered and that's super nice. I definitely will be taking you guys up on that, but I just needed the first 5 people to be people that are like I'm comfortable around, I suppose. I think this is my essential oil. I got this clary sage essential oil for my diffuser because apparently in 2014 there was a study done whether herbs through inhalation can reduce or like balance your hormones, and this one came out on top that it improved hormone balance in menopausal women up to 30%. So I was just like, you know what, I like the sound of that. I also really like the smell of sage generally. Yeah, that smells really good. Vitamins, I know I showed you my supplements, but I also do take these 2 vitamins and I've been loving them. I'd never really, it's a new brand, like there's not much talk about them, so I tried them for 3 months and I absolutely love them. I also really like their packaging. Just feel like I'm not taking another pill helpful to me. I feel like I've narrowed down what is helpful to me at the moment, but I do love these. I got a B12 mist, which is 5,000 milligrams, vegan formula, organic, mood booster and immune system support, metabolic and nervous system support. And then I also have the zinc boost, which also has like 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, 150 milligrams of elderberry and zinc. And I will say, I do feel like they improved my immunity, but also got some chrome powder in these sort of colors because I really want to do like an alien chrome glazed nail at some point. Here she is in all her glory. The least aesthetically pleasing dinner of all time, but you guys know this is my go-to. Food's full of light over here, my plants. I cooked the rice in bone broth for extra protein, got some seaweed for some natural thyroid support. I am a big lover or supporter of synchronicities over coincidences, and these are for my girlies that get it, because I know a lot of you aren't into the woo-woo side of me. I'm sorry, I can't change who I am. It's not about looking at every single little thing and calling it a sign, but it's about being really particular about how you like to be communicated to when you're looking for guidance. And even though I haven't even been back a full week yet, I'm already getting antsy over my lack of ability to be able to practice yet. Like me, definitely, and I think that this is a common thing when a lot of time has elapsed, you do lose confidence in whatever you're trying to pursue. And I've been worried that like if I don't sort my shit out, that's going to happen. I have been reaching out to people. Yesterday at some point I had a little bit of like a moment to myself being like, I'm open, I'm grateful. If you've got any guidance for me, you know, I'm always listening and I'll try my best to listen. I was just chilling with my dinner, watching the latest episode of Cosmic Disclosure on Gaia, which is like one of my favorite rabbit hole conspiracy series, like that's kind of alien related. If you love a bit of like a Matrix red pill moment, the Gaia platform, it's fun. It's kind of like a Netflix for weird people. Anyway, this guy comes on. First of all, I've never seen an Asian person on this show. Second of all, I was just like, whoa, this guy really looks like my dad. Really reminds me of my dad, really reminds me of my grandfather even more.
Looked into it, I saw this person's entire life from birth to death, the two. I had a quantum healing hypnosis technique by a practitioner, past life regression hypnosis. I was able to connect the two.
Like, not only did this man catch my attention being on a show that I never miss an episode of, not only did he look like someone I would undoubtedly compare to somebody close to me, he then jumps into like quantum healing hypnosis technique, which is literally what I've just studied. Little freaked out, but I'm taking it as a positive, reaffirming sign that I actually didn't know I needed, but I'm really glad that I've just had. Song is like my favorite song of the past month. I needed that. I woke up very stressed indeed. I didn't set an alarm and I slept way in, which is very unlike me. Really ungrounded, but I went out, got myself a coffee, and the cold brew is hitting. Thought I'd film it because a question I get a lot of the times is, how do you get motivated? How do you get on track? Nothing like the power of getting a coffee into you and putting on one of your favorite songs. I'm trying to be better at showing when I'm actually working. It's not the best day to shoot. It's very gloomy, it's raining today, and I woke up late, so I have less daylight than I wanted, but I think I have this straightened out in my head. You know, I had my breakfast, prioritized that, went out, had a bit of fresh air, got my coffee. Where I would usually stay at home and just bash it out and be really stressed, I was like, no, let's go outside, let's ground ourselves, even if it's only for 5 minutes. I told myself I would think about the shots as I was walking to get my coffee, and that's what I did. So I'm back now. I feel like I have a good idea of what I'm shooting. We're shooting for a whiskey brand today, so hopefully it won't take too long, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm shooting it on my big camera and not my iPhone, which is always fun. It always makes me feel like I'm going back to my photographer days. A lot of the campaigns I shoot these days are just shot on my iPhone, which is fine. It's very convenient for me, but it doesn't sort of showcase the skills I actually do have as a photographer. So yeah, this is fun. It's also a Paddy's Day campaign, which is why I'm wearing green. I kind of look like a barmaid. That's the kind of vibe I'm going for. I'm breathing in my chest and not into my stomach. So we need to kind of fix that, because you know that's how you get to a relaxed state. When I first moved to New York, I was a photographer to make money. When I was very, 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 very broke, I kind of pretty much became one out of necessity, which is funny to look back on. I truly do believe in the whole fake it to make it and figure it out as you go along approach. Because like I had some experience using DSLR cameras, but I was not a photographer. But did I pitch myself as one? Absolutely. Shooting bloggers for a while, which was also ironic because I was kind of still trying to do that myself. So I was paying my friend Adele to shoot me, and then I was charging other people to shoot them. Got kind of like a basic portfolio from that. Like it wasn't great, but you know, they were like high enough quality photos. First like little break, I guess, was being like the first social media photographer for the brand Vince. It's sort of like a mid-level market brand, you know, kind of like everything costs $500, you know, that kind of way, but they do like the best silks. Just FYI, I still have a silk dress from them. I've worn it so much and it looks exactly like the day that I bought it. This sweet girl from Ohio was their social media manager. I feel like social media manager is such a common role these days, but this was back when there wasn't any. It was just starting, the industry was just starting to like flourish in terms of a corporate role as a social media manager. Yeah, I met this girl, Kelsey, from Ohio, and she was amazing, such a creative mind. And we were basically like this little creative duo. Like she would kind of come up with the mood boards, or we'd work on them together. I would try and make her vision come to life. So she'd hire the model, we would just shoot for the day, shoot product shots, and stuff with the model as well. And it was just such a great opportunity for me to learn on the job. Really emotional the other day because I stumbled across some of my old client work, like video work, in a private playlist of mine. We made some good shit. Like, looking back, I'm still really proud of the work, even though I didn't know what I was doing really. Back truly when brands were only just starting to get Instagram accounts and all they were posting was like the photos from their websites, like e-com shots. It's been really cool to be in New York for the growth of social media, because I feel like it's probably the city with the biggest budget for social media in the sort of Western hemisphere. So yeah, that's how I started, and then I worked for Century 21. It's not a hard job, right? But it's a kind of job that you can really take for granted if you haven't really worked a lot of retail in your life or a lot of normal 9-to-5 jobs. I see a lot of people just not really taking it seriously, not handing in their work on time, causing headaches for their managers. And I don't think it's fair for managers either to have to be telling brands, you know, just chasing things up and not having things ready. It's just for like the agency you're working for, or you know, the manager that is managing you. It's not really good for your profile, I think. I'm very appreciative that I'm at a point in this job where I kind of can just let the work come to me. I really do need to start this work, but I think another message I have as well is, if you have like a side hustle or something you want to pivot to career-wise, you can do it in stages. I think that there's this notion that you have to take like a high risk when you want to get out of an industry, and that's not the case. It may just mean that like you're doing shit on the weekends for a while, or you're doing shit later after work, but there's a calculated, safe way to do it. Obviously it was great, I was getting a lot of practice as well, but it just meant that financially I was able to kind of get on my feet before making the decision to jump back into being full-time, like just me, focused on myself, YouTuber, Instagrammer, and just putting the photography for work to the side. It was still felt like a risk at the time because you never know if you're going to be booked or not, but I felt safe enough to be able to make that change. So it was a year out of my life where I had to do something else for a little bit. I don't think I've ever told that story in full. I've kind of told it in bits and pieces. So yeah, there you have it. For anyone that's new, you might take something from it. Definitely should not have been vlogging earlier, but I also don't regret it, you know. But we got it done. I don't think I have much light left, honestly, but here are my Irish coffees that I made. They were actually like really yum. Do a good job if I say so myself. I'm honestly roaring that I got an alcohol sponsor because I'm on like a sober season month, I suppose. I don't know if I talked about this before, but I was talking to Jenny about it when I went for dinner with her at Christmas, and something just like clicked when she said that her fiance used to do like 6 months off, 6 months on, or like, and kind of just looked at drinking as a thing you can do seasonally. Obviously, being Irish, drinking is such a massive part of the culture, unfortunately, and like the Irish identity. However, like I've never been like a massive drinker. I don't think I've ever abused alcohol. I don't know, I can just very much take it or leave it. I've never once been blacked out. I mean, I've been very, very throw up on myself in the back of an Uber, but that's more of an aversion to tequila issue, so I don't drink that. I don't know why in my head, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same, is sometimes when you say the word sober, it's kind of like an all or nothing thing. Seeing how great I felt doing dry Jan and how easy I felt just getting placebos and stuff at the bar didn't stop my lifestyle. There was an odd few times where it's just like, okay, let's do this instead of go out for drinks or like a daytime activity or whatever, but mostly I didn't have to change my lifestyle too much. I think for me, once I have a placebo, I'm good, which was usually just a ginless gin and tonic and a hape of lemon. Tart, it kind of wakes you up and feels like you're drinking something. I'm an easily fooled placebo girl. Anyway, to get to the point of this freaking story, it's ironic that I've been booked for an alcohol job because I am actually like sober for this month. Month off thing, 2 months off, 1 month on. I like having a little bit of a challenge, but I also like the flexibility and something to kind of look forward to. If you're kind of sober curious, I think it's a great way to kind of play around with it and kind of cut back without feeling like you need to completely remove yourself from all situations and all future events. I'm on the ball with catching or leaving myself enough time to run you guys through my outfit. This is the outfit of the day. I'm really buzzing about it. I really like it. Got Stan Ray's painter, utility, carpenter style, rigid denim. They've softened out a bit now that I've washed them. Boots, which I'm not too pleased about. I need to find shoes that match this kind of cut of trouser because I don't know, I always feel like a little stumpy. So to match these glasses, I switched out for a grey baby tee, silver accessories, and my favorite jacket of the moment, this black vintage one from Awoke Vintage. I do have my black leather bag in here as well, but I'm actually bringing a bunch of stuff with me. All of my hypnosis notes and procedure stuff because I'm gonna go do my first session on a friend today. I don't know, I need the confidence boost. I'm really glad that my friend was just like, look, we'll meet on this day, you show up and we'll do it. And I'm like, okay, great, thank you for the support. Going to work to learn how to be a hypnotist outfit of the day, but it is actually kind of a work outfit too because I'm meeting Kelsey Kotzer. Oh, this is the makeup, by the way. But yeah, we've been following each other for like a year plus, maybe 2 years. And we've just never met, and like she looks like she lives 15 minutes away from me. So I'm gonna go see her in Williamsburg today, and we're gonna have a nice little girly kind of quick shoot of our outfits, of course. And then like coffee afterwards. But I feel like we're gonna get on really well. Look who it is.
Hello.
Kelsey! Oh my god, that jacket looks so good on video.
It looks very shiny right now.
It's a Sandro number.
Yes, it is.
From Paris.
It's brand new.
We just shot. We really enjoyed ourselves. We got coffee afterwards.
It was very fun.
Very fun. Had a good chat.
I'm a little zooted.
Yeah, we've got plans ensuing.
Yes, we do.
We're brewing some potentially spontaneous.
Catch us at JFK sometime soon.
Like coming home, putting on some comfies, lighting a candle, and pumping my booty with some weights. But when you get that urge for a booty pump, you gotta answer the call.
Welcome back to Move with Nicole. Today's class is a 20-minute lower body workout that will strengthen your legs and your glutes.
I spilled it! Damn it. You guys know we always have our little latte moments on the vlog, but I swear to you, I'd say 9 times out of 10, there's always a massive spillage and I just edit around it. Cheers! I've been waiting for my coffee all morning. Got one of the Y-Files merch mugs because it's one of my favorite channels. Do you like conspiracies and just really interesting kind of Reddit type stories, but in a really kind of engaging way? It's such a rabbit hole channel. I remember when I was back home for Christmas, I pretty much binged watched all of the videos like back to back. And my friend suggested the channel to me and I've just been such a stan ever since. So, you know, I had to get the merch and it's actually a really good mug. Like it's more substantial. I remember when I first went onto the channel, I was just like, what is this? Is it kind of corny? Within 20 seconds, I was hooked. I already feel that I'm going to end up posting every week instead of every 2 weeks, and I'm really like envisioning how it's gonna look. It's kind of going to be a bit more like old school. These are the Crate and Barrel glasses that were $8 and they're like exquisite glasses. Look at this edge on them. Like I'm a sucker for detail. And the coffee right down to the bottom. I'm one of those people that when I go to a coffee shop, the glassware is really like part of the experience. Like these glasses really elevate my at-home iced coffee drinking experience. I am feeling cute this morning. I didn't wake up that way, but I slicked my hair back. Lo and behold, I feel like a brand new bee, but I'm just putting the finishing touches on one of the vlogs. It's so funny because I know I told you that I'm changing the schedule, but I think this one will actually end up on a Sunday. I am feeling resistance towards it. I know I want to do it, but it's just, I guess when you really want to get every single view you can, like I know that anytime I've uploaded on a day that isn't a Sunday, I've lost views. So I know it's going to be a bit of an adjustment period and I'm going to have to like sacrifice some views. So, you know, notifications on. This is your reminder again. You can customize the notifications too, so you can get them how you want them. So I had my first regression hypnosis session, like my first QHHT session here at home since being back. So like my second client ever. Kind of like happy tired. I ended up just like working from a cafe with my friend yesterday. So I didn't come on and talk about it. I was telling you that one of my close friends volunteered and it just went so well. I was doing it with my boyfriend. I was working out a lot of kinks as we went in terms of like my own technique. In getting somebody under, you know, your voice is very important. How you speak, the meter that you speak, all of that. I was really mentally preparing in the few days leading up to this. I meditated the day before. I sent her a meditation to do, like a quick little 15-minute guided meditation. I just did everything I could to get in the right headspace for a successful session. I wasn't talking myself down. Like anytime I felt like a negative thought coming on that it wouldn't be a good session, I just kind of was like, no, it's gonna be good, it's gonna be good. I'm not giving myself the option for it to go any other way. And it went dreamy. She was just like the dream client. Women that are creative, so that use the right side of their brain more, are the easiest clients to work on. But everyone can be hypnotized. There's no one that can't be. It's just some people are take a bit longer than others. I really needed the confidence boost, you know, after doing all of that study. Putting it into practice is a whole different ball game. It's just incredible to have a fully successful session from start to finish. And yeah, it was really cool. Chatted about it on Instagram already, but for any of you interested in the process, I know some of you were, we explore like 1 to 3 past or other lives, because you know, if you believe that time is an illusion and we're living in a quantum reality, then it makes sense that you can enter other lives kind of happening. Really helpful information for the client. Most importantly, like the reason that I'm doing it is because it can bring a lot of healing. Like it's kind of like a form of therapy, a huge therapeutic aspect to it in terms of helping the person move through obstacles in life, make them feel better, work through issues, see if they have any trauma carried over from past lives that are, or other lives that are affecting them now. It's one of those things that you kind of have to see it to believe it. When you're exploring other lives, you feel like you're in the room, like you can hear yourself speaking and you can often remember a lot of the information that's given about the past lives. But in the second part, you're like really deep under, you don't remember anything you're saying when we're facilitating that conversation with the higher self. That was really interesting. She thought she was only out for 15 or 20 minutes and she was talking to me for like 1 hour and 40 minutes. I don't remember any of the second part of the session at all, but we record it and it's given to her. So I'm excited to hopefully try on a few more friends in the coming weeks. I'm going to try and schedule 1 to 2 sessions every week for the next while. I can move on to level 2, which is great. I already passed my exam and I have my certificate from level 1, but moving on, you know, because after I do level 2, I can, you know, I can properly start as like a paid practitioner. Really happy and buzzing about that, and it feels so exciting to finally be on my own journey of doing this. Like obviously I don't know where it's going to go yet in terms of like if it's something I'm going to be doing professionally or not, but it feels really fulfilling to just be doing something else, to be doing something holistically that I know I've been like craving for years, but I was just waiting for the right like inspiration to hit. Sometimes I'm a really impatient person and I'm like, I want to do the next thing now, but divine timing and everything, I guess. Yeah, I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to make content and hope you check me out on my other channels. In the meantime, have a great week, guys. Bye.